Thank you very much. One of the reasons why I was laughing was when I think Osi said, if you're a Christian, raise your hand. And that if you're a Muslim, raise your hand. John did not raise his hand, though. And I said, I told John, I think we need deliverance for you. But look, what would I say? This is something I'm not comfortable with, but I'm going to do it scared. And one of the things I like about this is that I'm going to use my personal experience, and I'm going to do something different. And there is a prize award. Guess what the price is? 50,000, and not cash, but here's where it gets interesting, to your charity of interest. So whatever, charity you believe in, I'll send the money to Yinka, and you understand, but you have to get the answer. So we are going to take out your, your phones. We're going to Menti. Can we go to just jump that Menti slide? Can you? Menti.com. There's a code there, so I need to go to the slide. All right, so basically, if you go there, please all go there. There is, one of the things I'm presenting really is the office politics. I know the title, Yinka picked the title. I just said, look, really, what I'm going to talk about is office politics. How do you navigate the office politics? What is on this Menti now, and I'll go back to the slide, is the stakeholders from the very top to the very bottom. And what I would like you to do is two things, but I also like 3 volunteers, you know what I'm saying, which is that I want you to rank those stakeholders from what you think in terms of, oh, I've joined this company, this is the person I need to be close with. This is what I need to do. This person I need to be associating with and all that. Rank it from 1 to 5. I don't know what it is. 1 to 5, 1 to 6. And we'll see the results. That's the beauty of technology. We're going to see the results. But I will also like 3 volunteers. And in those volunteers, one of them will be hopefully, one of them will be the winner of the 50K to your charity. All right, so let's go back to my presentation. So now here's the interesting part. We have a ranking, so we kind of have a little answer, but I kind of know what the answer is. So I would like 3 volunteers, 3 to just, say your name and tell me which one you truly believe is number 1. You don't have to agree with the senior management, but which one you truly believe that volunteers, and it's from those 3, if they get it, you understand, then, you get the award. So, okay, 1, 2, then the third, yes, the 2 of you, sorry. Yes, the 2 of you, yes. Then the man, yes, correct. Please come up. Okay, just anyone can go first. Just your name. No, just your name, then the rank, the one that you think is first. The one that you think should be number 1.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Yemisi. I think the very first one should be peers within your company.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please. Yeah.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Philip Bakari. I go with that the peers within your company should be number 1.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Oreoluwa Ojo. I agree that the peers within your company should be number 1.
Which one?
Peers within your company.
Interesting. Okay, now, unfortunately, you all missed it. Now, here's what I would say. But I will still meet my commitments. The only thing now is that the, the charity will go to Yinka. So the charity, I will still give that 50,000. the charity will go to the choice of Inca. But here is what I think, and that is the base of my presentation. Every single person there is equally important. Every single, I know I said a trick question by saying to you that, oh, there must be one. No, you should go outside the curve, like, John said. Every single one. And my presentation, I'm going to go through my personal life experience of why every single level is important. Because my story is kind of unique. Exactly what John said, felt the same way. But I've been truly blessed because I've taken some wise decisions over my career path. I started in banking. I went to school in UK to do my master's, came back, then joined KPMG, then did that for over 10 years, then joined EY in 2016 as a partner. But that's the story. But I'll tell you the experience I've gained throughout, from banking to consulting and being a partner. So let's go to the slide, please. Yeah, I think this is very important, and if you look at it, and it's something we should all focus and dwell on, personal relationships are the fertile soil for which all advancement, all success, all achievement in the real life grows. That's it. Now, one of the things I found out is that it's interesting that in the Big Four now, KPMG, EY, Deloitte, we all know each other because one way we all probably worked with each other at one point in time. Then it dawned on me that from a client perspective, the choice of EY to KPMG or EY to PwC is not the fact that any of us went to Harvard or that we know our onions, because guess what? We all do know our onions. It's down to relationship. Period. Nothing else. Relationship. And for those in the consulting world, I can see some of my colleagues, if you want to succeed, the simple is that if you don't have that relationship, you can't succeed. Let's be frank. You have to develop that relationship. I started off, I'll tell you a story. I started off, and that's what I'm going to start with. I started off being an introvert. I was in the bank, I was in credit, and credit guys, the marketing guys didn't like the credit guys. So, and the reason was that we were the ones knocking down all those approvals and my famous word then, even as a junior, was, I'm sorry, sir, even for my senior people, this cannot fly. I said, I'm sorry, this can't fly. You don't have this, I'm sorry, it's not working. And their prayer was that they should move me to marketing. And good enough, the day they moved me to get marketing was when I went for my master's. So I ran. Now, it's interesting. What was I trying to say is that without those relationships, you can't really go far. You can't go far. Can we move to the next slide? So let me start with the story. So I'll pick from any of the direction why I said they are all equally important. So I go to the head. The head, very important. But please, with a caveat, do not go and meet your MD and just say, hi, I want to be your friend. Please, I'm begging. There is a culture, there is something, in fact, sometimes people will come to me in my office and say, oh, hi, a lady will come and say, hi, Femi, I want to be your friend. I'm sorry, because of this, what do they call that? Me too. I said, please, I don't want to enter trouble. For me, that's a wrong way. Just saying hi is enough. Don't go beyond that. Oh, you know, what do you like? What do you mean, what do I like? Do you understand? It's none of your business. Totally none of your business. You know? So, what did I do? I'll give 2 examples of the head. So, be careful how you approach. It's good to approach. What I will say is this. There will be opportunities. Prepare for those opportunities. But don't force it. Sometimes you could sit next to the MD. Prepare for that. It could come in 2 years, it could come in 3 years, but be ready. When it comes, be ready. Right? Do not force it. So, what did I do? Then I think I was at KPMG, and we used to have something similar to this, but in a bigger room, and it was so intimidating. We used to have like all teams meeting, everybody, and then one of the things I liked about that was that they will pick you at random to even present. So they're like, if you're going to mess up, you know, mess up here before you go and, you know, kind of mess up outside. And as usual, the partners will sit right in front and the junior ones right at the back, because you do not want them to call you and ask a question. It's a career damaging kind of situation if you don't get it right. I don't know what entered me that day. I was at the back, and one of the, if I may rank it, like maybe number 3 in terms of partner, a female partner, I just walked up to her, boom, boom, boom. My name is Femi, I just wanted to say hi to you. Do have a great day. The lady looked at me and like, who are you? I said, I know I'm in transaction, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, thank you. And, you know, I went back. And that was it. You understand? That was it, as in years after, she was always like, who is this guy? You understand? Because she was looking at, where is this confidence coming from? But I made sure I did not cross the boundaries. You understand? All I said was, hi, my name is Femi. Okay. Oh, you're in this unit? Yes, I am. Then I went back to my back seat. I think from that period, she took her time, and that's the thing you must be prepared for. When you do that, they will call you, and you cannot disappoint. Do you get? And the interesting thing was that I learned a lot from her. So over the years, fast forward 2 or 3 years, I started working with her, maybe, you know, and she wasn't even in my unit. I started working with her. There was one day I would never forget. We were going to make a presentation in Ghana. So we had to be at the airport at 7. She was already there. Oh, let's go. We did it. We went to Ghana, got to Ghana like 8, left Ghana like 6 p.m. and landed like 8:30 back in Lagos. I was tired. Unfortunate for me, during the day, I had said, oh, that she lives further down. I stay in Oniru, she lives further down. So I now said that maybe I would follow you. Mistake. So she now said that, okay, now that we landed, this was like 9 p.m. and the day started like 5 a.m. You know, you have to get to the airport early. And she said, oh, by the way, I just got a call from Ike in Access. Let's go and see him now. I said, 9 now? I said, this was the partner. She said, oh, yeah, let's go. I was like, in my mind, I was just rambling. Why didn't I just take cab? What is going on here? Is it by force that I said hi in the first place? You know, I should have just kept to myself. I said, well, that is, you know, that's why we went. As in, 2 things happened that day. I was so impressed with her enthusiasm, you know, and the energy was enormous. We did that meeting, and of course, I was even at awe, because then I think I was a manager, you know, the way they relaxed, and that was what I loved about consulting, the way, the respect I gave to her, the way they were free and they were talking, and the way they were, you know, I'm like, this is it. This is what I want to do, you know? And they were so free, they talked and everything till I think the meeting finished 11. And I was like, I was tired, but I was equally excited. But why am I saying this story? It's important. Because of that one high, I know there was a time that I was not in the room and my case was being discussed. And I think the people that are presenting me were like, we are not sure about Femi. You understand? And what I heard, I never went back to her. What I heard is, I don't agree with you guys. You know, my own perception is this. You guys should really go and do a rethink. And you know when someone senior says, go and do a rethink, you know what happens. So, and that was it. The next thing I heard, oh, you've been promoted. I said, thank God. He said, someone said, you're a lucky guy. People were fighting for you. And I said, oh, really? And I'm like, one of the things that dawned on me was, you have to be deliberate about these things. It's important. Second story on that head, where I said you must take risk. This was now entry level. I was in the bank, in credit. They call something NPR. Yeah, right? Then there was one presentation, and this was 2001. In 2001 was just after the 9/11, right? And then the bank was looking at assessing, giving credit to airlines. So some airlines, unknown airlines, were from US. They hadn't started then. It was just BA, all the rest, from US. And the an ED and an AGM was presenting. And in my mind, I'm like, this is a chance. The whole office, I said, this is a chance. But I said, Femi, if you say the wrong thing, you are in trouble. But I was like, are you bold? This is the whole office, MD, ED, Chief of Risk, everybody. And me, ABO, I don't know whether you remember, Assistant Banking Officer. Correct. Me, ABO, what's going on? I now said, you know what? I don't mind. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to think through. I'm going to think about what I was going to say. And I said it. At the end, because I was in credit, because I was like, okay, what would someone in credit do? And here was where the shocker was. So after everybody like, do we have any question? And by the way, the ED had used like a week or two to package that thing. I just raised my hand. I raised my hand. And you know how everybody just focuses on you. And I said, okay. I said, this is your moment. And I said, sorry, being in credit, that my view, this is my personal view, that 9/11 just happened. There's a confidence level right now on people flying unknown names. Maybe that is not the usual Air France and all of that. That we need to be careful that if you give the credit and people are not yet convinced and are still ready to pay double for BA and all of that, you might run into trouble. Guess what? No, let me tell you. 2 seconds, 3 seconds of dead silence. Very valid point, though. Guess what? That was all the MD was waiting for. The MD just said, that's, who are you, Femi? Okay, that's a brilliant idea. This is why we should turn it down. Boom. Yeah. He looked at me. So imagine the ED, the AGM, all those, the GM and all of that. And that was when I first got the attention in the bank. And that's why I said, you wait for your opportunity. Do not, it's a risk. Do not go and talk or say something that is not sensible in those kind of situations. So the MD just said, and from what I heard, even after the meeting, he said, I really like that guy, and I need you guys to keep an extra eye on him, because I think he will go places. That's what he said. Then the EDs, no, the GM said, what you did, you had balls. I will say this, never ever do it again, but well done. You know? He told me, said, well done. And throughout my banking career, that was that one singular event that, you know, propelled me, you know, gave me that support. They were, you know, then almost every other time, they were now like, oh, is Femi there? I want Femi to come. Junior person. In fact, I even had, but I was the one putting the credit on the system. Because of that, the trust they embedded in me was that I was even afraid, because at a point, when they approved the credit, I could put 20 billion with my signature on those accounts. And that was the comfort they had, you understand? Of course, I think when there was a fraud like a year after, they removed it. But the point I'm making was that there was that trust, and that those are the things that propel you to do all those things. Now, we talk about support staff. Let me tell you something. My view of life is we're all equal. That's my personality. We're all equal. The fact that you were born into this home or that home, it has nothing to do with you. So because people are less privileged, and there are some two types of characters, and I think you guys should watch it. There are those that, once you enter the office, once they know that they are above you, they don't want to talk to you. You greet them, hi, who are you? You understand? They don't. My view is that they are equally important as the boss. Why? I'll give you an example. We were doing a submission for 5 o'clock. Submission for in Abuja, and someone needs to take those documents to Abuja, fly and make it. And it was the day before it was closing, and the guy that does the printing said, Oga Femi, I don't have a car, this is the person I follow, blah, blah, blah. I cannot, it will be hard. But because of the investment I had made, you know, maybe when we see on corridors, hi, how are you now? How is everything? How is your boy? How is everything? That's who I am anyway. It's not something I learnt, but it was just something I was brought up with. And I do that a lot. And it was like, but because it's you, I will wait. I could have lost, but what you don't realize is that I could have been late for that proposal that was $1 million. Just because, and he had every right to say he is going. You can't do anything. So why do we always think that there is a tier system? There isn't. Everybody is important. Everybody, the junior team, I'm going to talk about it later, which is investment. There are some category of people that feel, when I go on leave, everything crashes. That's the worst set of people. That's my view. Because it should be that when you leave, things are going on well because you've empowered people. Right? And where I'm going on that is when you empower people, they would not disappoint you. The junior team is there to support you. People don't realize that, for instance, if you don't teach them, you know, be like, look, get it up. You know, there are some bosses that will be like, boom, boom, boom. These are the things I would like. Google, do whatever you like. I need it by tomorrow, right? But for me, that was not how I was taught. How I was taught was you sit together, you agree the agenda, you agree areas where you look for it, where the source and all of that, and you allocate resources to the point where, you know, it's almost like, wow, this guy took time. And when you've identified area of weaknesses, you'll be like, you know what, I know you can't do that financial model. You know what, let's do Friday, me and you, 3 hours. You know, and you'll be like, the partner? Yeah, of course, why not? I can build. I also was not, I wasn't born a partner. You know, I learned the hard way, so I know I have some skill sets. So, you know, I'm like, you know what, let's do 3 hours Friday. If it does it work for you? Oh yeah, boom, 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 you do it. That person will never ever forget you. Never ever. And I'm saying, sorry, yes. Then your peers, and I have a very interesting story there. Your peers and other organizations. We know, do we remember, I can't sing it, I'm a terrible singer, Two-Face, that no be everybody go make this money or what, I don't know how he says it. Huh? That is it. That is the key word. That is exactly what I wanted to get, and that was one of the things I really liked about that song, that do not for once think you are the only one going to succeed. And that's why I said everything is important, is that your peers in other organizations are growing. They're actually the seed for your success. You don't know. Because the truth is this, when I started becoming a senior manager, they also were growing in the bank. They were growing in the telecom. They were growing in the hospital businesses or whatever life of businesses are. They are your source of contracts. Oh, yes, they are. So if you think, oh, I am big, I'm large, I don't care about them, and you're not making that investment, you're not the only one that will be rich, so they will be rich as well. They will be promoted as well, and they will get to those things. And people wonder the secrets of when you say you see a partner, and you're saying, wow, this guy knows everybody. In fact, there was one. It was so interesting, and I'll tell you the story, as in the suave. I won't mention the name. The suave of the guy. So we had a partner from London come, and we went to Southern Sun, and in the morning, and everybody was greeting this guy, this partner. We sat down almost like a celebrity kind of status. Oh, hi this, hi that, hi that. The white guy kept quiet, didn't say anything. Then we went to a hotel in the evening for dinner, like 11. Same thing happened. And the guy said, do you know everyone in Lagos? And I love the reply the guy said, the partner said. He said, no, only the rich ones. It's kind of cocky, but it was a little bit true, but at the same time, it's the confidence. Because by the time you've invested, what you don't, let me put it this way, that same partner that said that thing, when my mom became 60, he was the only one. He came. He sat by himself and sat for almost an hour because he was like, no, I'll come. I even thought, how you share those cards, like never. The guy came. I was probably a manager or a senior manager, and he came. He didn't know anyone there. He greeted my parents and sat down and said, Femi, oh yeah, let's talk. Since there's no friend, he stayed for an hour. That's the investment. People don't see that. So when you now see him outside and everybody is greeting him, it's because he has made the investments at a point in time. What investments are you making? That is the critical question you must ask yourself. And that investment does not have to wait until he is CFO. Back to the song. You're not the only one going to make the money. You should make the investment when he's still an ABO. Not when he has made it. Oh, yes. Because we all know now, there are people that, because I'm a partner now, that's when he now wants. We know how this thing works. And the relationship is not the same. It's not. Then, the most interesting one was the peer, right? I just joined KPMG, when was that? 2006, I think. 2006, feeling fresh. I just came back. And I was like, man, I can conquer the world. I can do everything. And they said, okay, you can do it. And I was in banking. So they just said, Femi, you're going to do a due diligence. Due diligence, for those that might not know, is a review of a company. And this was an insurance company. And I said, oh, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, so I'll get support, right? No, that's not how it works here. Okay, what about the team? Oh, we only give you one person. And unfortunately, everybody is busy, so that person is coming from forensic. I called my brother, I said, they've sacked me. I said, eh? So I was confused. I was like, 2 weeks into the job, because they were nice. The first 2 weeks was just doing proposal. You think, this is cool. You know, I was just packaging proposal. Then, you know, the third week, boom, insurance DD. And I said, how will I do this? First meeting was with the MD of the insurance company. Who is going to talk to the MD? Femi Alabi. I said, I'm in trouble. Because there was support, but the energy in that place was so high that the empowerment, guys, your mates are doing it. That's what they told me. I said, look, you came in, you said, what happened was, when I did the interview confident, they said they would give me S1. I said, come on, I just came from London. What are you saying? I know my stuff. I know my onions, man. How can you give me S1? Said, so you want S2? Okay. I said, They gave me the S2. They now said, this is the expectation of an S2. And I was like, okay, this is set up. So guess what I did? So they gave me the insurance, and that's why I said your friends and your peers are equally important. Guess what happened? My other colleagues, so it was like, we were like 12 S2s and working on 12 different engagements all at the same time with an average team size of 1 person in addition. Tough environment. And what I now did was, because I had made the investment with a friend, I was doing an insurance company. He was doing a reinsurance, totally different business. And I said, you know what, this guy, you're my best friend now. And he had been doing it. So what I did was, you know what, every night, then, you know, we used to buy, all those cards. I didn't care. I spent thousands. So I was talking to him for like at least 3 hours. Like, okay, how do you do cash? How do you do inventory? How do you do receivable? How do you do the adjustment from an accounting perspective? And it was like, okay, Femi, I'll sort you out. And it was telling me, boom, boom, boom. That was how I finished the job. And the manager now came, this for a first timer. You know, for a first timer, this is not bad, it's average. I said, look, I'll take anything. I was just too happy that we delivered. In fact, there was one funny story where I was overcompensating. So I had to study, although what helped me was I did insurance in school, so I kind of had a fair understanding of the industry. I had to study some questions. So I now asked one of the senior managers or the GM in the insurance company one question that was really silly. And I said, the question you just asked, the answer is right in front of you. I said, I just wanted to test whether you were active and you were. But guess what? He agreed because I had over-prepared. They saw me as one, as in every time I went into their office, I had 25 questions, legit questions. I had done my homework, I had done everything. So that one slip, he said, he agreed with me. I said, no, I was just testing you because you know I need you to be active. I need you to support me. So the point I'm making, and this is why every single level is important. Now, the next slide that I'm going to be moving to is, how can I get better? And we've all said this. All the speakers have said this before. You need to be a source of knowledge. And I will explain it in a different way. You need to have something. Don't worry yourself about trying to have everything, but you need to have something. If we all remember, can we raise our hand and say, we might still remember the name of the best guy in secondary school, the smartest guy in secondary school, do we? Huh? Do you know, I'll tell you something. Do you realize that that guy was the best guy, not necessarily because he was good, but you made him the best guy? Why am I saying this? It started with him knowing something that others did not know. Then one of the things about human nature is we associate with success. Everybody comes to him for answers, and because he wants to maintain that status, he will continue building himself. That's same thing with the organization. Same thing. Same thing, and that's why. So you have to be like, look, you know what, if it's PowerPoint presentation, spend day and night, be that person. Be that person. And I'll give you another story, and he's here. Olayinka is here. I'm going to expose him. So, what happened? And this is why I said about opportunity, how you can expand your world from a very small thing. What did Olayinka do? I think it was, and I will ask him to stand up when I finish. What did he do? We were having, I think, Christmas, and he developed a video, you know, people singing the Christmas carol. And I thought, wow, this is fantastic. This is great. And I just kept it. Then maybe a year or a year and a half, we had an event, and this was a big event, ICMA. So, and when I mean ICMA is, you know, Europe, India, Middle East, Africa. So the whole ICMA, which is the whole of EY around that. Africa alone, we have 32 offices. So you can imagine India, UK, the whole of Europe, and Middle East. And they now called me and said, oh, Femi, being the service line leader and blah, blah, blah for West Africa, we need you to do a short video. And, you know, we need it very quickly on the topic, on the culture or something like that. And I said, I'm sorry, how can you call me? It was a Tuesday. The event was Wednesday. And I said, I'm sorry, how do you do this? Because what was happening was, within Africa, I think we were just jumping. Someone would say, oh, give it to this person. That one said, give it to, so it now landed on my own desk. And I said, it won't work. But immediately I said, it won't work. I just said, no, that maybe it might. And I now said, you know what, I will take it. And the only reason why I said that was why? Because of a Christmas carol video. And I called Olayinka. I said, look, we have a big job to do. And he laughed when I told him it's just within today. You have to do it today. But here's what I'm going to do for you. That it should be about me talking. But because I know you are good at it, I am going to empower you. You should be the one to put yourself in the video. This is, you know, we kind of developed the, what do you call it, the what we'll say and everything. And I said, you know what, I would not take this. If you can do it in 24 hours or less, then you take it. And he did it. And he did a wonderful job. I'll tell you this, that to the point where there were like 20 videos where what they wanted to do was every country will have like a slot. Olayinka had 4 slots. The guy at ICMA said this is the best video he has ever seen. And this is an accountant. I'm not kidding you. Olayinka, are you there? Has it gone? Oh, wow. And that was it. And guess what? I also say because of that, you know, he had opportunities abroad. Easy. That is what it means. Guess what? Can you imagine someone being good in video editing to the point where you are the focal point at ICMA? Because it was his face. It was his face. And that's why I said you must be a source. You must be sociable. You know? You have to be. Humility, extremely important. That thing about feeling like you're bigger than it won't get you far. It's just human nature. It would not get you far. You know? Emotional intelligence. You must know when to draw the line. You must know when someone is upset. There was one funny one. The person was my peer, but to a junior. He told something to the lady that she wasn't happy with. And I was like, I felt that the guy's EQ was not too high because he insisted that she should set up a meeting to understand why she's upset. I said, I'm like, just let it go. As a boss, there are things you are going to say that your people will not be happy with. But it does not mean the decisions you've taken is not the right decision. The person will be quite upset with you, but the next day you move on. How do you want to insist on understanding, why you're upset? You're not going to get anything from that. And it's so true. But he still had the meeting, and I was correct because she still was even more upset. But here's the biggest one I would say. Invest in people, right? If you don't, and I actually want to quote a Bible verse, and permit me, please. It is Matthew 5, verse 16. And it says, let your light so shine that they may see the good works and glorify your Father which are in heaven. For me, and I'll give you the illustration I'm going to show you. If this is my light, let's assume, right, that this is my own light. If we switch off every light here, I will be able to see, but only to this extent. But if I can use my light to light everybody up in this room, I'll be able to see the door, and I won't hit my leg. And that's the real essence of investing in people. And I think if anything that we'll take away from this presentation is that we need to invest in people. And why do I say so? Some of us will say, but what do I have to give? And I'll just give you the example of a 3-year-old will help his baby brother. Where did he learn it, or where did she learn it from? Twins will help one another, even as being 4. Where exactly did that baby learn it from? And that is why you have to stop saying, what do I have to give? You definitely have something to give. Because if a 3-year-old can, go and just pat a crying baby to say, don't cry, don't do this, or do this, that's help. So if a 3-year-old can know, this is what I need to do to make my junior brother or my junior sister stop crying, what about us? Never ever think, oh, I'm an entry level. Yes, you're an entry level, but there are people that are trying to get into that organization. You can help. Yes, I'm a senior, but there are people that are just entering that you can help. Yes, I'm a manager, but there are people that, have, that are below you or at your peer that you can help. If you live that life, because the truth is this, investing in people is actually investing in yourself. I don't know where a lot of us have even recognized it, that there are some times that with your name or your son name, people want to help you. Oh, that man is your father? You know what? Just come inside, come inside. If you know what your dad did for me when I was young, he was the one that helped me, he was the one that gave me this, and you'll be like, boy, it's just my dad now. But he made the investment. Question is, what investments are we making? So it's second to the last, but I will go to the last one that talks really about the do's and don'ts. But for me, it's just important that we capture these points, please. Show enthusiasm, extremely important. And I like what was said earlier, which is, to be honest, I don't like accounting, but it pays good money. I am very okay, and I'm ready to do it till I'm 60. You understand? Because there's a means to an end. I'm fine, but you have to show it. But the moment, for instance, I will also say, especially about office politics, is that the one key point you must know is this. If I am upset with you as a boss or a junior, the moment I show it, I failed. You must understand that. The reason is that you cannot allow emotions to get the better of you. The way it works is this: I would not come to your birthday party because you are not my friend, but I will do the work you gave me. So let's separate the two. You have to be constantly professional. But the moment you are showing reluctance, oh, this guy is just wicked. In fact, there was even a boss I had one time that he always said, why does it take you 4 to 5 minutes to come when I call you? You know what I was doing? I would just say, he has called me now. What are the things he will ask? Which email I've not sent? Which, you answer, I prepare. I kind of like do a dossier of, things that boom, boom, boom. And it's always like, then there was a time, every time I will now go to him, I will have an explanation. Then one day you now just say, Femi, you think you are sharp? Yeah, doing because, it's those kind of bosses that, have you called the man? Yes, I have. Did you call his driver? Did you call his secretary? You understand? Because he will go down to things that you will not even imagine. Say, did you? Okay, you didn't reach him. Did you send him a text? Yes. Has he responded? No. Did the secretary respond? Did the PA to the secretary, did you get that one? So, but you have to be ready. And that is understanding the people you work with. Once you know the person you're working with, then you're good. Be flexible. I'll be quick. I know my time is up. Be flexible. Ask for feedback. Listen. Talk. Speak up. Please. One thing I would say in the don't, do not be involved in gossip, office gossip. And I'll tell you why. I found out in life that some people, they've made up their mind. They want to leave an organization, but they don't want to leave alone. And that is, yes, now, they don't enjoy living alone. They must go because they feel the impact. Since I'm leaving, and if 5 or 6 of us leave, they would, that boss will feel it, will even beg us. And that is where gossip starts. And what I'm saying is, it's fine for you not to be happy, but just keep to yourself. And that's why, as an individual, protect yourself. When those kind of something, can you imagine this, what this Oga said, this one, just because the truth is this, people do not realize it. The boss always finds out. Always, not 100%. Always finds out and always know everybody in that group. And like it was said earlier, it will affect your evaluation. Yeah. Because you are destroying something you did not build. Doesn't make sense. You understand? So stay away. Once they start, oh man, the pay is not good. You ask yourself, is it good for me? Am I okay? Move on. Oh, they are keeping me on am I the one they are keeping overnight? You understand? If you are not happy, but of course, please speak out if there are issues, but don't follow gossip. It's one thing that can distract you. And why it's so bad is that you realize that you're not being promoted, but you don't even know why. That is important because the boss is not going to say because you were gossiping. He's not. So, don't be late. I think, for me, that's extremely important. As bosses, people that have achieved in life, you can afford one day late and something, but be known for something. Don't get into the Nigerian time zone thing. Especially when you are growing up, you should be known for something. If a team's call is 4, please be there by 3:55. If a meeting for a client and your boss is coming, you should not be the one your boss cannot be waiting for you. And forget, oh, I didn't anticipate the traffic. There's Google Map now. Yeah, there's Google Map. So you can't tell me that because you could check. You can even check in the morning and it will tell you it's going to take you 30 minutes or 2 hours or something. So try and have a culture of, even though, and here's what I'm saying, and I think you would have seen with the presenters, we all go through sacrifices. So don't make any excuse for yourself. Oh, I have to wake up at 4. If that's what it takes, then do it. But continue building to ensure that you move from that uncomfortable zone. But while you're in the moment, live in it. Enjoy the journey. We're in the society now where, how will I call it? People see the end product. Oh, he's a partner, he drives a big car, he does this, he does that. But they don't see the journey. They don't. I don't usually say this, but you want to know my own journey? Before I became a partner, I started ICANN, like, immediately I joined the bank, I think 2001, and I was passing until the very last stage. I took that last stage 8 times, but I never stopped. Do you get where I was, though I'll pass 3, fail 1, blah, 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 and all of that, those back and forth. So that's my story, and I'm happy to share it. But guess what? I don't care. I am an FCA now, and I'm a partner, and the money is good. Thank you very much.